is Steven, and I have selected the product design brief for Pedal Power Association. In this presentation, we will be looking at the design, the actual design, and also which technologies or devices we can present it to. Currently, I think we'll be covering two. In this presentation, we'll be covering two platforms. We'll be covering two technology devices, which is a smartwatch and also the mobile app. But there is another possibility which should be exhausted, but I don't think it's currently live, especially for cyclists, and that is the smart glass. But for now, we'll just be covering mobile app and smartwatch. But before we jump into smartwatch and mobile app, let's quickly go to we need to first identify the persona we are creating this for. And in my case, I have identified Janice, who's a 30-year-old widow with two children. Cycling was her hobby. She enjoyed with her husband. After being introduced to it by the late husband, she felt so safe every time she cycled with him. She only has time to cycle in early hours of the morning before she prepares her kids for school. She values healthy living. She's an explorer, and she values her family. Goals: find a safe track to train. Be aware of surroundings when training for cycling. She's looking for flexibility, real-time update when on track, and she wants to ride 5 days of the week. Frustrations: she's unable to cycle anytime she needs to, most of the time unaware of the obstacles on the new cycling tracks. She is looking for a device technology that won't require her to slow down every time she checks for updates, and she needs an app that will simply synchronize the information between all devices that she uses. Screen one, it's basically straightforward signing in, especially if the cyclist already signed up. So cyclists can only sign up through an app though. After signing in, mobile app will synchronize the information when it has been connected with the mobile app, when it has been connected with the smartwatch. So there's only going to be synchronization after the signing in has happened on the mobile app. Expectations from here: they wanted users to either sign in using an email or membership. I think we managed to cover that, supply that input. Issues: how to interact and engage with cyclists, and personalize content. Give cyclists an opportunity to sign in using either an email or membership number, so that we can be able to capture cyclists. So this happens pre-cycling. This is not during cycling. This is just a pre-cycling engagement. So upon signing in, cyclists or users will be given navigation buttons. They will land in a page with navigation buttons that will enable them to basically go where they would like to be redirected. Easily navigation system. In this case, we will be looking at the routes or track button. We wanna for the sake of this assessment, we'll be looking at the track and the routes. So we want to keep it as simple as possible, because this is where people just easily want what they want and move on. We also included the shopping button where users can easily go and shop around. In this regard, there are no issues in this, except that on a smartwatch we only have viewership of one button, one navigation button. Then before that, we just have to scroll for other buttons. So we select routes or track button, and that will redirect us to screen 3. Upon landing on screen 3, we will be introduced to inputs that will require us that will require our whereabouts, so that the app will be able to give us available routes around our area. uh, can be able with these inputs, there are some which are preloaded, where users just has to select or choose. We have select province, we have enter the city of the province you're in, and then distance route. So you want to see what distance is that route. So the main aim is to get the routes from this application. Expectations showing various routes around in the selected region. Solution, or rather issue a challenge when it comes to other medium devices like smartwatch. Keep it simple with drop down preloading inputs for users, for Janus basically. Okay, this is an example of a selected inputs. Show various routes around Cape Town. As per assignments, it says we'll be focused mostly on Western Cape, so we are looking for routes around Western Cape, particularly in Western Cape. And when it comes to distance route, this will enable us to it will filter for us as to what type of routes, what routes are between 10 and 5 kilometers. It will essentially begin with the lowest distance all the way to the highest distance. Then it says find what's important to input and use that. Screen 5, it's the list index of the routes available around the area. Looking at routes: State, Hillcrest, XC Trail, Tafelback Road, and Kems Bay. So from this selection done, output will prioritize distance and then the cycling track and routes. Expectation: routes then receive an aggregated score based on user rating with bikes and icons. The cycle icon are small, are very small to use as an icon. The rates cannot be displayed on a smart watch. Those are issues. Solutions for those icons is color coding, red being the score and gray not a score. And then screen 6 goes into detail as to how we have scored that particular area. In this instance, we have selected routes estate. Routes, in terms of difficulty, it's not that difficult. Looking at the rating, safety, yeah, there is a bit of uncertainty, but yeah, that's the rating. Beauty, it has a beautiful scenarios. You will see from this page also we continue to show the average time completion, which is 60 minutes for 5.2 kilometers. Also, if you scroll down, you have an option of scrolling down for more information regarding that particular route, the roads estate route. You will be given more information, and from this screen you will have a button, or you can click on the map. Not necessarily, you can click on the map, and when you do click on the map, it will take you to screen 7, and you will see what happens in screen 7. So expectations: routes to be rated and scored in overall difficulty, safety, and beauty. That is done. Unable to feed all the information into a smartwatch. That's a challenge. There's just no solution for that. So when you click on the map, you will be prompted with the real-time tracking system. This is where the user can start riding and cycling, and when they do, they will be prompted with the map that will show that will essentially enable the GPS. So from screen 6 there will be a button. The map will act as a button for real time. It will redirect them to this screen 7, where GPS will be enabled for cyclists to monitor real-time event on the route they are using. Expectations: product must be accessible to cyclists while on the track with GPS enabled. Issue: what I learned about the real-time feed is it's not instant. That's a problem with real time. It's not instant. You must allow a bit of time for update. and the solution for us is to come up with what you call an alert. So for the solution for the issue raised is making user aware of possibilities that might occur on the route with alert, which takes us to screen 8, this alert will just pop up, and it will indicate, please be aware, in the next 1 kilometer the area has a number of potholes. That is indicated in an orange line, so you could see that there is an indication of incidents or under the real-time track. There could be an accident or traffic, animals ahead, rain, storm, potholes. In this instance, we are using potholes as an example, but then we can add more, like mugging, hijacking. We can add more by color coding, and there will be identified on the map as you are being tracked. Your move is being tracked in that whole map. So this would ideally be suitable for Janice, our persona, as she will be fed and alerted as to where to go and how to get there, or rather where to go, which places to avoid and how to avoid them, which tracks to use and how to use them, and so forth. So for me, with this, I did look at some of the principles, I considered for building this app. I tried to cover some of the principles identified in this slide to use the app. Communicating gestural, small visible structure such as icons, symbols, and bars. These are just interface and user experience principle considered when building the app. I think I covered most of these principles. Others I might not have, but then they were just a guide to building that whole real-time track application. So if we go back to slide 7, slide 7 and 8, this is where we can introduce that device, the new technology device called the smart glass. This would be brilliant in this instant, in that it will solve Janice's problems of having to slow down to check updates. But then with the smart glass, you don't have to slow down. The update happens, and there are voice over control. The update happens as you are riding, and you can see them simultaneously as you see the route. So that won't interfere with your momentum. So this is pretty much my presentation.